10:05, here we go. Well, everybody, welcome to the January edition of CPS WEBtips. Today I'll be your presenter. My name is Tim Dempsey. On behalf of everybody here at CPS, we hope you all had the very best of holidays and looking to get back into it. Just some logistics. Everyone's going to be muted, but if you do have any questions, please type them into the box, the chat box down below, and we will take them as they come. Just a little bit about me. Yes, that is a very large photo, but that's what we're working with. So my name is Tim Dempsey. I've been working with forms, workflows, and dashboards and building and systems over the past 7 years. The last 3 primarily within Winshuttle. And just a little bit about myself. I love building processes that are easy to use, maintainable, and a Cleveland fan. So that's just a little bit about me. Today's topic is going to be building parent and child solutions. There's a bit of an agenda. We're going to be discussing how we can build them, see it in action, and what can we do with it afterwards, and what are some of the benefits. There are many different ways to go about building them, but I'm going to just demonstrate how we can build it just one way, but there's many other ways. How we do that is with the Form Process Launch plugin. It's available within Composer, so it's at the palm of your hand. And if you haven't used it yet, you might just be doing that soon. Why do we do it? We'll see here in a few minutes. And later on, we'll see how we can bring that data to life. So you remember that why question from the previous slide? Well, let's start off with a real-world scenario. And I'm just going to read it here. We have 7 materials to create an SAP. It's a very common thing. I have a material request form, and I can enter each one individually, but that can be tedious and time-consuming. Is there a better way? Well, there is. I'll show you here in a few minutes. So rather than enter each one individually, we can just create one request to generate and start all of the materials for us. Now, we all know how data entry can be tedious, can be time-consuming, and it can deter our productivity. But there is a solution in Winshuttle. It's not very difficult to set up, and we'll see how we do that the rest of the way. So I pre-recorded this, and I'll narrate over it just to ensure that we did have a live and active environment. So I'm going to go ahead and click play, and we'll get started. Just a little precursor here. We're starting in the workflow area, and I've added a plugin to the canvas. I've selected my form process launch type, and we've opened it up. So we can see here from the start, we have 3 areas we want to look at. We have our site. This is the site where we're going to be creating the child form. We have our process name and form name, which 99% of the time are going to be the same. This is what we're going to be creating and generating. We have and the next area is going to be how we authenticate or set our swim lanes. So just like we see here, there's an originator swim lane typically. We would just create a requester swim lane. We would define our user site, which is going to be the same as above, typically. There can be others. We're going to find the user that is going to create it or was creating it from the parent form. And we're going to find the user by querying the list of the parent form and finding their account login. So this is going to be a SharePoint field that is promoted from the site. It's just the user login who started the parent form, and we're going to query it by the title, which is the request ID. This is just one way to remember it. Now we just get to the fun part here. We have our source fields These are always going to match up, the 0 to 0. That's a 1-to-1 match. The source field will tell you that that is a static or non-repeating field. You'll see here down below, repeating group and field destination XPath. That's going to be your repeating elements. So all you would do is select your field and then enter in the destination path. And that's just the path that's going to be in your child form. And there's one here that is unique for repeating groups. It's just the repeating group area. You would just select the repeating table that you will be setting and just enter in all of the fields that you like to transfer over. So we just have some common ones here. The requester email, the request ID. But you'll note here that I've sent it to the parent request ID. That's how we can connect the two forms. So I can open up the child form and see where the parent form, or how it was, which one was created from the parent form. And we'll continue to scroll here. We have the requester name, and just a few fields, manufacturer number, net weight. Earlier I mentioned the source fields. You would just add one there, add the destination, and then input your fields. So this is really the inner workings of that form process launch. It's one way on how we can create it. There are, of course, other ways. But this is how we've built them to date. You guys may have noticed here that there is a processing request. This is just a little tip. We would add a wait plugin to before the form process launch. This just gives time for the form to set all the SharePoint fields and just to make sure the SV service jobs are on hold until everything has been created for that parent form and for the child data. As you can see, this is the only thing that we're doing here. We're going to just be launching this parent form. Does anybody have any questions? Anyone want to see that over again? Any different parts? I know we're running through it, but there's some areas there that that can be commonly just a gotcha. But we have been doing these very often, so those will work for you. But if you have any questions, please just raise your hand. We can look through that again. I got a question here.
Yeah, you got that? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Lou. How long do you set the wait plugin for? Well, typically your SV service job will have a server timer, right? Very commonly is 5 minutes. But you can also just set the wait plugin to about a minute or two. That should be a sufficient amount of time. You could always set it longer, but the wait plugin is just once the SV service job starts that plugin, that's how long the wait's going to be for. But 1 to 2 minutes should be in good shape. All right. Let's keep on moving here. So what I put together for everyone here today is we have a site here with just what we're going to be doing. We have a link up here for our create a mass material request, and we have another link for the material request. But we're going to be creating quite a few of these. So let's open it up. We have our basic information above, right? We have our request ID, we have our name, or email, and our login. Now we could definitely go ahead and enter in all of our different ones, but we have this option here to upload to Excel data. This is even going to help add your data faster. So I select my Excel file where all those materials are from. I define my range, and I click upload. And just like that, all of the data is inputted for us. No more inputting. Reduces the chances that there are going to be an error from a fat finger. And I go here and click process. So right now typically it's going to be working in the workflow we have our processing request. Let me just pause this right here. So right now, we would see here a processing request. That's our Wait plugin. Everything is being set to the SharePoint list. Our data is, our SV service job isn't overlapping to when we're going to create the parent request form. And this really would not be of any concern really to the end user, right? They're going to submit their form, they're going to send it through, and then on to the next. So just for time concern here, I've fast forwarded to where we would see our child forms. So we'll pick this back up right here. As you can see, these child forms are already creating almost, right 5 minutes right afterwards. We have our process time of when it started. Let's go back and look at that list. As soon as this that plugin was running, these were creating. That's really where we find the value, right? We don't have to create one, send it, open it up again, create another one, send it. It's all done for us, just by entering in one repeating table and clicking a button. So it's going to be a lot of savings for you. Now, if we open up one of these child forms, we're going to see our data just that we've entered in. We have our basic data up top. We can see here we have our parent form. We have an RD. We can look back at our parent form to see what was created, and we have all just the basic data that we added above. Pretty powerful tool, everybody. Anybody have any questions there? Any gotchas? Has anyone tried to do this before? Maybe not worked. Would definitely be happy to help. So, in a few words or less, that's really how we can create our parent and child relationship with the form process launch. I've showed you how to input the parameters to have it run successfully. We've walked through the form and how we can save time not only by creating the parent form, but also uploading from Excel. And we've also seen how fast they can generate for you. Now, what's next, right? We've created all these, and what do we know from them? How do we see our data? What don't we know? How can we make better decisions for tomorrow? Is there a way that we can get some more insights rather than just trying to go to our SharePoint list and export to Excel and spend more and more time just building the analytics rather than making decisions on it? So many folks here have probably heard of our offering for Process BI. If you don't have it already, you should. But this is where we can take it a little bit more further and really customize it for what you're looking for. So I'm going to click our link here. This is going to bring up a dashboard that we created just for you guys today. So here we can really see just from the get-go how powerful a tool this is, right? Rather than creating 68 requests, I've only created 7. Just want to sit that in for a moment. Now, what else can we see? What else do we want to know? What else is important? Well, I can look over here and select the parent form number 1. I can see it was created on this date and find all the child forms that were related to it. I can see how long it took to run. I can see how many child requests were built from it. And we can do this for each one. We can even add more of these too. These are just this is really just something that is it's just the basic form here. We can add users. We can add all of the SharePoint fields that were there. Now we can just select one of these child forms. We can find all the data related to it on the right. You can see that I requested it. You can see that the material number created from it was this ACC number. And then we can start making better decisions from it. We can start seeing how many were created in this time date. We can see how many materials were created by this requester, so on and so forth. So if you have the offering, you know we can do this. You do now. But if you don't, maybe something to consider. Anybody have any questions, any comments, anything else they would like to see from within our Process BI space? All right, great. Here's a slide that just an open floor. We'd love to hear from you. Any feedback would be appreciated. And any other topics, really, we want to make these tailored for you. Anything you've maybe hit a gotcha on, any hiccups, we probably ran into it already. So we'd like to help you there. So let's just talk about some more events we have coming up. On the 21st of February, we have a Lean Tournament session, and please sign up for that. They're a great time. It's a good networking event and a way to just start the conversation. Of course, please, you guys can also find us at info@clearprocesssolutions.com. Always check out our YouTube channel, and all of these will be uploaded for you. If maybe you want to direct to somebody who isn't here today, you can find it on our YouTube channel. And here's our final slide, just to show you just what our solution care can offer. I'm going to leave this up just for a couple minutes because there's a lot here. You know, we can help you with many different areas. Well, once again, I want to thank you everyone for coming today. I really enjoyed doing this. This is really fun for me. And I hope you find some insight to it, not only from the form process launch area and creating those child forms for you in a much faster way, but also from our Process BI offering. We can create those custom dashboards for you to have some better decisions for tomorrow. I'd like to thank you all again for coming to our January installment of WEBtips. I can't wait to see you at February's. We'll have another good topic. Maybe it'll be yours. And thank you. Catch you next time.